Hi, I'm John Latimer, host of KBXE's Phenology program. Today for the show, I'm going to teach you how to make a willow whistle. The first thing you need to make a willow whistle is a good sharp knife. The second thing you need is a pocket full of Band-Aids. And the third thing you need is a piece of willow. And willow can be easily found this time of year because it has little pussy willows on it, little flowers on it. The other hint that will help you determine whether or not you're looking at willow is the presence of scales, leaf scales that have no seams. That is one-piece leaf scales. So that will help you tell if it's willow or not. So once you've procured your willow, and you can use aspen, popple will work, they're from the willow family. Once you've procured it, you need to square off one end, as I've already done here. And you want to square off the end of the branch as it goes up. Because when you slide this bark, eventually you're going to slide the bark off of half of this. And in order for it to fit over this end, it has to be smaller here than here. So you have to pick your bark, your piece, and remove the bark going up the stem. So, first thing you do, you make a notch for the whistle, and this is going to be in about 1 inch. I'm just going to cut straight down into the wood, about, maybe a third of the way through. And then I'm going to take about a 45-degree angle and make a little cut there. And what I've done is I've taken a little chunk out of the piece of willow. The next thing I need to do is I need to remove this bark so that I can make the chamber where the air is going to be. So I'm going to go down about 4 or 5 inches. Alright, then I'm going to score the bark. All I'm doing here is cutting through the bark, and I've cut all the way around. The next thing I have to do is I have to make this loose. And in order to do that, I got to bruise it a little bit. So I take my knife and I just beat on the bark for a little bit here. Alright, if that's enough, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the bark and I'm going to try to twist it. And if the bark is loose, it'll slip. There, it slipped. Now it only slipped I just moved it enough to get it loose. I don't want to spin it all the way around, because if the stem is bent a little bit, or if there are old leaf scars here, it will split the bark. So once I get the bark to split, I want it back in its original position, and I'm just going to slide it off very slowly and carefully. I'm going to slide the bark off of the willow stick. So now I've got a little piece of bark that's intact. And I've got the willow stick. And the bigger I make this chamber, the deeper the note will be. So I'm just going to slice back to my notch. Remember that notch I made when I started? Now I'm going to cut a little deeper here along the edge of my notch. I'm going a little bit more than halfway through the stem. And then I'm just going to carve that out with some gentle strokes. I don't want to come at it so hard that I cut the whole end off, because that would wreck the whistle. Again, a little bit more downward pressure there to cut that through. And then just clean that up a little bit. I got a little knot there, so it's kind of sticky, but it's coming. Alright, I might go just a little deeper. Alright, so now I've got my chamber where my sound is going to happen. All right. There, it's back in place. It's aligned. If you look carefully, you can see there's a little slot there to let air in. And if all went well, All right. In 3, 2, 1.
That's awesome.
Excellent. I can see there's a set designer in the building anyway. My makeup man may have run, but that's all right. How many of you people live from Bemidji this way?